Hey guys, Summonex here. This is going to be the replay of the 3 games against the Snow Control, where I posted on Facebook. They got me my notoriety about my Legacy Elf Storm deck that I ported over for Modern. I'm recording this well in advance because I want to, but that just means that this won't be published until Saturday or Sunday. So what's that, like April 25th, 26th? After I stream and reveal the list that way. But yeah, so this is the match that kind of gained me the notoriety with the deck. So starting with game 1, we're going all the way through the 3 games, and yeah. So you'll see game 1, opening hand, we have 2 lands, Cradle and a fetch, and we have just a bunch of guys, right? So in my mind, this isn't an amazing hand, because we don't have Heritage Druid or Nettle Sentinel, but Birch Lore is a knockoff Heritage Druid. It will allow us to do enough dumb things, along with that really means that all we need is one combo piece here to at least start going off. Plus Beast Whisper, I'd much rather keep a hand like this with Beast Whisper than I would keep a hand with Glimpse, because Beast Whisper is recurable, which means he can be there for multiple turns. I can get his value over multiple turns instead of just losing it in one turn like I would with Glimpse. So we're going to keep this hand. We're going to start with turn 1 Llanowar Elves. And we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So our opponent drops Flooded Strand into Tundra, plays Sword of Plowshares. So in my mind right now I'm thinking, okay, this is blue-white control, because there's nothing else that I can quite think of. Or I haven't played Legacy in a while, so that's the only deck I knew that would lead with a Tundra into Swords to Plowshares. So my thought is I want to try to get kind of wide here, but I don't want to give away my Cradle in case they're playing Wasteland. So that's why I choose to just double play the Forests instead of playing a Cradle, because I want to be sure that I'll get the most use out of my Cradle as possible when I need it, instead of just playing it this turn, getting 2 mana out of it, and not even being able to do anything with it, and then losing it to a Wasteland. So that's my thought process here. So then we pass, play a Forest, pass back. Now I'm really confused. I think maybe they're on Bant Snowblade. But I have the mana combined between lands, Gaia's Cradles, that's 3, and then exiling Elvish Spirit Guide to play Beast Whisper on my turn 3. So just go ahead and land him to try to get the value in the future. I just decided to swing the extra damage. He plays Quaddle. Whatever, not that big of a deal. I mean, I don't really care about having creatures on board until I'm trying to go off anyway. He decays my other Ranger, so I'm looking a little bit thin here, and then I draw my 3rd Ranger for opponent. So now I'm feeling okay. Draw a card off of Ranger. We're going to play Birch Lore. Draw a card off of Birch Lore. Which it gets countered, whatever. Now I'm going to fetch for a Forest. I'm going to play Green Sun Zenith for Wirewood Symbiote, because this is going to allow me recurable draws with Beast Whisper in the future. So we're going to go ahead and swing for 2, and we're going to pass back to them, hoping that they don't have some board wipe or something. Play Teferi and bounce Beast Whisper. Not that big of a deal. We have 4 mana on board anyway to replay it, and that means his Teferi just dies to me. So effectively all he's doing here is time warping me. So we play Beast Whisper, or we swing Kill Teferi. I swing with both because he has the open black that makes me think he could have a Fatal Push. So I want to play around that and make sure Teferi dies. So we play both those guys. Now we play Beast Whisperer for 4. And now we play Wirewood for the draw. We see Glimpse of Nature, which means that we should probably be able to go off next turn, because Glimpse of Nature plus our 2 Wirewoods means we get at least 4 draws next turn, which is pretty strong. So they're going to do Cling to Dust. I don't know why. I don't know what that does for them. I don't even know why that card's played in their deck, but I don't know. I'm not a Snowcoat player. He ponders, passes back to me, and so we draw Llanowar Elves, which is a good draw. So now we're up to 6 draws this turn, minimum. And keep in mind, this is turn 6. This isn't an extremely fast win by any means, this game, but we get there. That's what matters. So, Glimpse of Nature, Llanowar Elves, draw 2. All right, tap for 5, Mystic. And the reason I did that is because I felt like the or I knew that there wouldn't really be any difference between query and bouncing to play a land and all this stuff. Plus, by saving my land drops, I could save potentially for another Cradle later. So that was my thought process behind using Cradle now, which 5 mana was plenty for it anyways. Play Mystic, and he just concedes. We don't know if we're going to get there yet or not, because we don't have Nettle Sentinel, which at this point isn't probably necessary, but we don't have Heritage. Oh, wait, we do have Nettle. I'm blind. We don't have Heritage Druid, which means if we don't get Heritage Druid, we can't go infinite here, which, since I'm technically running, 15 copies of Heritage Druid through 4 Green Suns, 4 Summoner's Pact, and 3 Birch Lores, we're going to hit Heritage Druid within our next, 8 draws that we're going to get anyway. But still, we technically hadn't won it then. So, bit of a misplay by our opponent to concede there, I think. Although, to be fair, unless they draw exactly Dead of Winter, which they pondered, they know what's on top of their deck. Unless they draw exactly Dead of Winter, they lose. All right, let's move on to Game 2. Excuse me. Game 2 is quite a quick one. So we start off our opening hand here. No lands. Man, that's a keeper right there. All right. So we ship it. We hit a 2-land hand. If you didn't catch that, the other land in the hand was Verdict Catacombs. So my thought here is we have everything we need to go off. This is a good hand. So I ship back a land on the thought that we draw another land, or really we don't even necessarily need another land. Also, we have Green Suns for Dryad Arbor, which is kind of our extra land anyway. All right, so they play, or the way they tap there tells me, okay, they have Abrupt Decay. It's pretty obvious. So I'm going to attempt to play, or I can't really play around it, right? I've just got to go for it. So I play both Nettle Sentinels first, though, because then that leaves me open to not losing Heritage Druid. And only losing one of the Nettles, which Heritage Druid is way more important to me, I feel like. So Abrupt Decay's Nettle Sentinel in response. Heritage Druid lands. My only possibility here is pass to him, pass back to me. I get to go Glimpse, Mystic, draw something, and somehow go off from there. That's what I'm looking at. We pass back to them, and I'm thinking, only way I lose is Dead of Winter. Wouldn't you know? Pass back to me. I'm not going to give up that easily, so I Glimpse and Land War just to try to get some draws. I get a Cradle. Don't know why I didn't play the Cradle and play the Mystic, to be fair, but as you'll see, he drops Plague Engineer. Next turn, it's over. I just concede when I see Plague Engineer. That's not happening. So on to Game 3. Granted, my heart is pounding a little bit at this point, because this is a deck that I brewed up literally 15 minutes before this match, goldfished a tiny bit on Tapped Out, and then bought the 4 cards I didn't have on MTGO and went to play it. So, opening hand is insane if we draw a land. We have the Pact. We have the Glimpse. We have the Nettle. We have the Birch Lore. Birch Lore, as we know, right, is another Heritage Druid. So we have a mana producer, and by mana producer, I mean, Heritage Druid or Birch Lore effect. We have Nettle Sentinel for the mana. We have Glimpse for the draws, and then Summoner's Pact just allows us to get whatever we need. It's just a freebie. Wirewood Symbiote gives us some bounces for Glimpse, or a bounce for Glimpse, and Llanowar Elves is just another elf. This hand is looking amazing if we draw a land. That's why I keep it. So, turn 1, we're going to play Verdant, fetch for a forest, play Nettle. Yep, play Nettle, pass to them. They play an island, pass back to us. Spoiler alert, as anybody who's seen the picture will know, that's the only thing they play this entire game. So now I'm looking at my hand here. I'm thinking, okay, I need to get the maximum use out of Glimpse. I need to also leave myself a chance to completely go out here. So in my mind, I'm thinking Glimpse using the Bayou. And then I go Birch Lore, tap for 2, Wirewood. I stop for a second and think, would that get me anywhere? It wouldn't, because if I played Wirewood then, I'd be out of mana. Bouncing Birch Lore to untap Nettle Sentinel, I can't Can't tap anything for mana there. My turn's over. So I have to go Glimpse, and then Birchlore, and then Llanowar, and then Wirewood. And then I can use Wirewood to bounce Llanowar, to untap Birchlore, to bounce Birchlore and untap Llanowar. It doesn't matter. To then tap for another mana, and then just try to keep it going. Along with getting more draws, along with Summoner's Pact. Summoner's Pact, my mind is thinking either I'm going to need to use it for a Nettle Sentinel, or I'm going to need to use it for a Heritage Druid. Depends on where I get in my cycle. I guess, to be fair, I could go Birchlore, Llanowar, or I could even go Birchlore, Nettle, Llanowar, Wirewood, and then I have a lot more mana. But I think I just left that avenue open for myself, just in case I ended up needing something else like a Beast Whisperer later to keep my combo going, something like that. So we start with the Glimpse. Oh, it's not even... Oh yeah, we swing for 2 because that's what good Magic players who play Nettle Sentinel do. Sometimes I surprise myself because the amount of times I forget to attack with Nettle Sentinel is staggering. Okay. So we swing with Nettle, we play Glimpse to untap it, and then we start going off Birchlore. Okay. We draw a land. Not what we wanted to see. Okay. Llanowar. We draw Green Suns. Once again, not exactly what we want to see. Wirewood. Oh, I do pact here. Okay. I do pact for the Nettle. Sometimes it's like I know what I'm doing. Oh, man. All right. So we go for Nettle. We play Mystic, untap both. Draw a card. We hit another land. We tap for 2, play Wirewood. Now, it is okay for us that we hit another land there. But if we had drawn a land here, it's probably over when we hit the Llanowar Elves. Green Suns for a Wirewood, and then maybe we get there. But it's pretty much over if we hit another land there. So we play Llanowar. We draw another Green Suns, but now we have 2 mana, so we can Green Suns for a Heritage Druid, I believe is what I... No, Wirewood. I'm dumb. Wirewood because that gives me more draws, which allows me to keep going, along with gives me the extra mana here to get 2 more mana to then play Green Suns for another Wirewood if I need it, hoping that I don't need it specifically for a Wirewood. So we tap, we play Mystic, untaps. Now we're back to being able to have 2 mana. And what do you know? We draw to the Green Suns. So back to the Wirewood we go. Actually, after we use the Wirewood, we end up drawing the Heritage, which allows us to get now 6 mana, which allows us to tutor for Beast Whisperer. And this is why Beast Whisperer is an excellent one-of in this deck. Because if we hadn't been able to tutor for him, as you'll see later, having 2 draws each cast is immensely favorable to 1. It makes such a big difference, you really wouldn't believe it. So, we're going to, we drop Beast Whisperer, and now we're just going to play out our hand, and we're just going to Goldfish until we kill our opponent. So yeah, here then we go Green Suns for another Wirewood so we can get more draws. And the reason we're Green Sunning for Wirewood and not Visionary is because Visionary would only draw us 1, whereas Wirewood allows us to draw 2 with each activation. So at this point, obviously, we're well into killing range of Tendrils. I am scared that if I tap into Tendrils and cast it and he has a Flusterstorm, then it's over, right? I want to ensure myself that I can win no matter what. Obviously, there's no way with 2 mana that he could possibly make enough of an impact for me not to kill him by swinging next turn. But nevertheless, I wanted to make sure. So we just continue going until I'm confident that we're in the clear, which means we end up having to Green Suns for another Wirewood so that we can keep going. There you go. We draw Nettle and Green Suns. We play Nettle, I think. Yeah, we play the 3rd Nettle. Draw Heritage, and I draw a Heritage just to have 1 last draw. As you can see, I already made the black off of Birchlore because I can tap these guys for free each time, and they'll untap anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just went ahead and made the black while I was using out the green mana I had. I will draw my last card here from Glimpse. I'll see my second Tendrils. I have plenty of guys to tap. for the 2 black to play as second tendrils. So it's just time to go for the kill. We play it, and that's GG. I apologize, I keep looking up there. I forget that the camera is on my laptop and not up there for some reason, so I keep thinking I'm looking at the camera, but I'm not. Anyways, that's how I beat Snow Control 2-1. That's how I won Game 3 on turn 2, and I love this deck. I can't wait to release this YouTube video, and I can't wait to see other people's reactions to this deck, because I really like it, and maybe it has a chance. I guess we'll find out on our league Saturday, which will be before I post this YouTube video. So I guess we will have found out. So guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I do plan on doing more YouTube videos in the future. I'm going to try to start recording the audio separately so that my recordings don't record my music, but I can still stream with music in the background, so I can upload my VODs to YouTube even without the music. Which obviously uploading copyrighted music to YouTube is not a good idea. So that would be the only feasible way for me to upload to YouTube. So that's what I plan on doing, and hopefully we'll get some more YouTube going in the future, get us some subscribers rolling, and get the magic content flowing. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Salmon X out. Peace.